Everybody likes to bring up her past. Okay, she got a sex tape.
Oh,
so
God.
what? Half of y'all got a sex tape and got nothing out of it. Except blackmail or embarrassment.
What the hell?
Let's be clear. Like, half of y'all, like, do worse shit. You're
That's
just
very
lucky the
true.
whole world doesn't know. Okay, it happened. She did that. But she could have gone so many avenues.
Never too shy. We're
Never.
back. Never, ever, ever, ever. Hi, guys.
Ever.
Did you miss us so much?
So much.
I'm Paulina,
I'm Tati,
and producer Marco's here.
Hi, guys.
the club owner.
Yes, he's a nightclub owner.
Whoa,
That-
that was a lot, right? To come
That
off of.
was a
Because
lot.
I just needed to tell everybody to know right now.
Dude, like, but adding that to your resume when it's
Marco
so
owns a
not,
nightclub.
yeah, when it's so not, like, that's so dope. Like,
Yeah.
like one day I wanted to be like, yeah, guys, I own like a,
Like, come to my club.
Yeah, like come to my nightclub. Like, I
Come to
just-
my club. Like, I'll take care of you.
like you want to go in my section?
I can't wait because he has a section dedicated to us.
Yeah,
I don't
just
even
us.
go to the club, but
Me
I'm
neither.
gonna go
The
for
fuck?
5 minutes.
Retirement. Yep,
We're gonna go just because it's Marco's club.
I love
Therefore,
it.
it's kind of like our club.
it's ours. I think it's ours.
In the club, we all fam.
we all frown. I think it's absolutely our club.
Yeah, Lucy.
I'm gonna walk in and say,
There's
I
a
know
lot
the
going
owner.
on right now.
I think you
Helen knows
should
the owner.
have your birthday parties there.
Okay, 2 weeks. It will be open in 2 weeks. Yes,
You know,
they will.
if I
They said
ever
yeah.
have a child, I'll have their like baptism
Yeah.
party there. You know,
Do you just quinceañera?
her
Yeah.
quinceañera. Yo, that'll be actually kind of dope.
Okay, so all the quinceañera.
My graduation party, like we'll just have everything. Thanksgiving.
I love it.
Can we just all have Thanksgiving there? It's the things we could do.
Yeah, I
Possibilities are
Thanksgiving
endless.
is perfect.
Actually, that's kind of dope.
That is kinda- I
Christmas
know.
party. You know,
I love it all.
Company Christmas parties.
President's Day.
Yeah,
I celebrate privately, but yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, that's great.
I love it.
Juneteenth.
Girl, it's coming up.
It's coming.
I
We're in
love,
June
I love
right
all
now.
the events you guys are having.
We are in
Thanks.
June, guys. We are in it.
Yes,
And
June.
we are living in Gemini season right now.
You guys, it's my season.
Did you feel the world shaking a bit? Because I did.
What the fuck?
It was like a little earthquake as soon as Gemini
Yeah, Gemini season's always
season turned
tough.
over. Yeah.
Like it's tough. I feel like it's because in my opinion, even though I guess it might not be technically on the calendar, but like it's the beginning of summer.
Yeah.
Just think about it. It kind of is.
Yeah, it is.
School's about to come out, all that. The Geminis don't know how to act. We're a little nuts. We get very excited for this time of year.
Mm-hmm.
It's a chaotic time, and we're chaotic, so it's a chaotic time.
It makes sense.
It is. It's so crazy. Oh my god. Yeah, but good stuff though. June,
Crazy.
love it. Do you want to start with saying it with your chair?
Yes, I could say it with my
Yeah,
chest.
say it with your chest.
So I had a very interesting text message conversation with my best friend Fiamma. It was technically a group chat, but like I think Alexa's at a point where she's like, I'ma just
slide out.
slide out here and let y'all do it. But it was just I brought up something I was told. Casual conversation, just like, oh, guess what? Somebody told me, da da da.
Yeah.
And I just wasn't ready for Fiamma to just come for me in my entire existence.
Damn.
And she did. But again, it kind of goes back to the live show, right? Like if people care about you,
Yes.
like they're gonna tell you what's up, right? They're gonna keep it 100. And she kept it 1,000. It's just it was so off guard and I wasn't ready for it.
Yeah.
So my say it with my chest is a question based off of that conversation was like, why do you care? Why do you care?
Why do you care? That's
Why
valid.
do you care? And like for me, it's a question for myself, right? Like, why do I care? Like, why were her words stinging me so hard? Because she was speaking facts on certain things.
Okay.
And then I was like, why do I care about that? She's right. Like, why am I still talking about this? Why do I care? And then it's like, Fiamma, why do you care? And she's kind of like, I don't even know why this ain't even my business. And I was like, I get it. You care because of me, because you love me
'Cause
and
she
you want
loves
better
you.
for me.
Right.
So I guess the question it with your chest today is, why do you care?
Why do you care?
Yeah, that's where I'm at. So like,
That is so valuable.
So I'm trying to think about how I react to things, stories, this, or like, oh, I didn't get that, or damn, I was late for this. Like, why do you care? And I'm like, why do I care? Literally, I'm gonna say,
Yeah.
why do you care 500
I
times.
wish I had more context, but I don't think you're gonna tell the world.
No, I think
Well-
it's just like a dead conversation. It's something that happened
Okay.
way over a year ago.
Okay.
And then people are coming to me with like, oh, I heard this, I heard that. This person said this. How do you feel about that? And then I was telling Fiamma how I felt about that.
Well, that's
and
fair.
what I was told.
But you're
she's
human. It's valid.
yeah, but she's kind of like, girl, like, why do you care? So what?
I can tell you why you care because it's something that you laid to rest and it got brought back up in some way, shape, or form. And it's kind of like, well, why why is this even a conversation right now? I'm
Yeah.
assuming, did you start this conversation? Did you bring something up from the past, or like
no.
from the grave?
Somebody brought it to me.
Okay.
And then I told Fiamma, like, oh my God, guess what so and so told me today. You
Okay,
know, like
got it.
that's how I brought it up. But for
So
her,
you didn't just do it out of your ass.
no.
like,
But I think
somebody brought
for
it to you.
Fiamma, it's kind of like, okay, so what? They brought it up.
She's
So
not
what?
wrong.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
she's definitely not wrong. But I do think that we're human. I think a lot of us like do kind of, I don't know, react maybe out of emotion, maybe out of like, my biggest thing is that I'm in your scenario, I'm thinking like, you care because, and you're telling Fiamma because you're like, hey, like, guess what happened? Because you're clearly like moving through the motions of it. It's clearly
Yeah.
not bothering you. I don't think it consumed your whole day.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Your busy ass day that I know you had. But like, I don't think, because I know you're always busy, but like, I don't think that was the situation. I just think it's something that came up and it, in a way, maybe still bothers you. Not what happened. I don't know that part.
Right.
I'm not saying what happened, but the fact that like something got brought up from the dead or something got brought up again, that you're just like, why are we still doing this?
Correct.
That's crazy. I just had a conversation with someone that we actually all know, and I was like, it wasn't like a why do you care thing. It was just more of like, I was actually trying to figure out why something bothered me, and I'm just like, this is so weird. And I was like, and actually used you as an example, I was like, it would be like me and Tati, like, God forbid, like just growing apart, let's just say in a couple years, for some reason, like whatever, we grow apart, which obviously I never want that to happen ever, but like we grow apart, you know, whatever, let's just say we don't really associate with each other, whatever. And then I was walking around being like, yeah, I don't know why Tati acts this way, but it's like, girl, you guys grew apart like years ago. Like, why are you even like, you know what I mean? So that's kind of like, to me, I see it as like, why is this person bringing it up? Something that, in my opinion, was laid to rest. It sounds like.
I mean, it was like something that just never.
And nothing happened out of it.
No, nothing happened out of it. It happened, and then it is what it is.
That's it. Period.
But I think it's this idea. Like, obviously, there's more to it, right? It was always kind of like everybody told you ahead of time this was gonna happen,
Really?
and you allowed it to happen. So Fiamma was kind of like, you knew, so why are you still surprised? Heartbroken over what? You knew this. Like, why would you allow yourself? So Fiamma did the reminder. Like, why would you put yourself in that position? Like, type thing, you know?
I guess it's good to have friends kind of check you that
but,
way.
But I was just like not expecting all of it. Like, I was
Yeah.
like, whoa, this is a lot. But again,
But
like,
who are you going to go to, though? Like, you want to work through
for
your
sure.
feelings. You want to tell your friends.
Yeah, for sure. So it was not a big deal. It was just like, wow, she came in hot.
She
But
did come in hot.
But then it was fine. But yeah.
Yeah, well, she's that kind of friend, I feel like, will say things and keep it very real in that way.
Yeah.
She'll make sure to, like, question. And maybe that's, like, a character building exercise, too. Like, maybe I need a
Girl.
friend like that.
Girl, she will tell you about yourself so fast. And it was like more of like the shit she said. I was like, clutching my pearls.
Yeah.
Like, do you need validation? Like, does this like, is that what it is? I think it's that. Do you need validation? But like from this person, why would you want validation from this person? What do you get out of it? Like, what do they have over you? Like all this other stuff. And I was like, it's crazy.
That's wild. Okay. Well, yeah. I see that. Yikes, mama. Ah, damn. I say it with my chest. I think, so I watched the Karol G documentary yesterday. Do you cry at like other people's success? Because like I just was bawling.
No, I
at
do.
the
I
part
cried.
when Billboard called
Oh my
her.
God, I cried.
Yeah, I was like bawling, and like the part that Billboard called her, the president of I think Latin Billboard, maybe just Bill, I'm not sure who she was exactly, but she called her and she was like, "You're the another artist that did this," and she goes, "Oh, who are the other two artists?" And she's like, J-Lo and Selena, and she's like bawling. I'm bawling
because she loves Selena.
She loves Selena, and then she even did a whole tribute to her when she did her whole stadium tour. It wasn't in her hometown because she didn't go to her hometown, but it was very close to it. Even Suzette, Selena's sister, was there, and like I was just fucking bawling, and like I just love her. I've always loved her.
Yeah.
I love her so fucking much, and she is just like so genuine and like so sweet, and like her story to me is just wild. I knew most of this already, but it's just like she quit music at a certain point
because of
a creepy ass manager.
creepy-ass man.
Imagine that, a man taking advantage of a woman in the music industry.
Crazy.
Imagine that. I was like, that's crazy. And then she like, her parents really like struggled to get her out of that, like financially, emotionally, everything. And then they got her out of that contract and everything. And she went on to pursue her dreams. And to me, like, one thing that I have a hard time with is like when I see somebody's success, like let's say like a Karol G or whoever it might be, like I think like a lot of times as people we forget what they did to get there.
Yeah.
Like it's a road.
Yeah.
Like we just look at them and like, oh, look at her. She's got these fans and she's, the number one, like this artist doing this stadium tour sold out. But it's like, do you understand what it took to get there?
Absolutely.
It's insane.
And even like this to me was so powerful. Her dad being like, you have to be ready when you're no longer number one.
That was crazy.
I was like, fuck.
Because who thinks that way,
No,
right?
but it makes sense though.
No, you do. Like you should absolutely be prepared
But
for
I'm
that
like,
day.
wow.
Because they always say like, who said this? I think it was like on like VH1 or one of those like shows about like, I don't know, like the behind the scenes, those like old school shows.
love those.
I love them too. Or maybe it was E! True Hollywood Story. I don't remember. But like, I think it was like Jessica Simpson or somebody. And they were like, I forgot who it was. Maybe I don't know who it was. Somebody in that era. And they're like, I don't want to be number one because then you like, where do you go from there? Like you fall essentially.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, heard. I still want to be number one, but I was like, heard.
I just want to be up there a while.
Right. Just put me up there.
Like I want to make a good mark.
Put me in,
Right.
coach.
Get it warm. And
like put me in, coach. It was just crazy, but I love the documentary. I'm a little late to it. I know everybody kind of watched it already, but like it was just so good. I'm like bawling. It's interesting too because I feel like she mentioned things that were like so vulnerable, like her weight. I didn't know that she had a hormonal issue that she literally gets treated every day because of her weight. And I always like thought that too. I was like, because looking at her, I thought she looked beautiful and healthy, but I know she got
then
criticized.
you saw like all of that.
Yes. Yes. And that like she probably works out hard. Like even just like rehearsing and like running around the world and like she looks amazing, but I know that like with her body image too, like she went through it with that, which is crazy as women, we all do, we all get like chastised for our appearance. It's fucking sick.
Yeah.
But like she just like talked about having that condition or something that she has and she gets it treated every day by a doctor. I want to say it almost looks like acupuncture, very similar to that. It's like something with hormones and like she gets poked in certain places, but she gets treated and stuff. But yeah, she's just like such an angel on earth. And like, I love her so much. And I was like thinking, I was like, I don't know if she wants this, but I was like, I kind of can't wait for her to be a mom. I think she would be such an incredible mother. I don't know. She's just so nurturing to me.
Yeah.
She cares about the, like her fans, like obviously her country of
I loved
Colombia.
when they went to go see the little girls at the like NASA.
The
whatever.
NASA.
And then
And
her
her
mom was
mom
crying.
breaks
Oh,
down.
I was just like,
I would break down too.
yeah, same.
I just feel like, but one thing I will say about Karol G is like, I want to see what kind of cancer placements she has in her birth chart because she cries a lot. But I'm the same way. Like I cry at everything.
Yeah.
But like to me, that's so genuine. Like she truly appreciates where she is.
agree.
And honestly, she's kind of a manifester.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of love
She
that.
is.
I kind of love it. But yeah, she's my favorite.
So what's your say it with your chest?
Oh,
I mean, it's just fair.
I don't think I don't
It's
think I got
just
to it.
watch the Karol G
Watch the Karol G
documentary.
Watch the
documentary?
documentary.
Can we talk about something related to Karol G?
Yes, always.
Oh my God.
So when you see like she has like this new era, whatever coming out, like she posted there's a new single coming, whatever.
Yeah.
So now she's in like her new era.
Yeah.
And this seems like super, super, super scandalous sexy because she's been posting like super sexy things.
Of course she has.
But I don't know if you saw that like there was this like video going around of, I don't think it's him, but somebody that looks like Fade in a nightclub with like a girl like all like dancing on him and he was grabbing her and groping her, and I don't think it's Fade. I don't. But everybody is just like, oh my God, look at Karol G's out and about and look what Fade is doing. I feel like people are just plotting like she's too happy, she's too successful. She needs to get heartbroken again. Something's gonna happen.
You think
Like,
so?
I don't know. And that kind of leads into like the conversation of today, like the let them
The
thing.
let them.
And it's like, I like when people don't address things like that.
I love it.
I think the
I love it.
Kardashians are great at that. I think
Of course.
Karol G, like this idea of like, go ahead, post your blogs, post your shit. I'm not gonna acknowledge it. I'm gonna just keep doing me, making money, doing what I'm doing.
They're so much better than me because like I'm the complete opposite, and it's like
You want to clap back at everybody.
clap back. I'm very defensive because
Yeah.
I'm just like, because when I see something, and I have to work on this in therapy, but I'm like, if that's not true,
No, I'm the
then
same way.
I get so defensive. I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, like I'm gonna fight for myself because no one else fucking will.
Yeah.
So I'm like, but like when something's not true, it just irks my fucking spirit. I think it's a childhood thing. Definitely working on it in therapy, but I'm just like, why, like, why am I getting so worked up or whatever? I want
Why
to
do you
live.
care?
Why do I care? Like,
Yeah.
I want to let them, their asses.
Let them.
Let me, which is another part of let them theory, which I would love producer Marco, if you don't mind look up the actual definition of the let them theory by Mel Robbins, because I definitely want to read the definition, and then I know the part 2 is the let me part. She goes let them, and then she goes let me.
I didn't even know there was a part 2.
Yes. Well, no, like not a book, but like part 2.
No, but like
what
a
she
part
says.
2 of that.
So like I guess essentially the whole let them thing is like a part 2, which we want to dive into. So if you guys have read or listened to the audiobook like me, it's the Let Them Theory, Mel Robbins. I do love Mel Robbins. I think she's great. I'm not like a super Mel Robbins stan, like some of these people are, like they like live and die for her. When I listen to her, like I resonate with a lot of stuff, but like I don't know. I don't also sit there and feel like super, I don't know, moved, heard, represented. Like,
okay.
I do, but like not really at the same time. Like what she talks about, isn't like anything crazy. Like we've all related to it at some point in our lives. But
she just called it something different.
She called something different. But no, there's people I feel like that like actually ride for her like hard. I don't have that love for her, but I definitely love her book, and I think she's really changed lives with Let Them, and I'm implementing it a little bit here and there. But no, I mean, like she's great. The podcast she has is good too. But yeah, the Let Them theory, I think it's revolutionary, and I want producer Marco to read the thing.
The Let Them theory, yeah. The Let Them theory, popularized by Mel Robbins, is a mindset tool that encourages you to let others make their own choices, live their own lives without trying to control or manage them. It's about releasing the burden of trying to control other people's thoughts, feelings, and actions, and instead focusing on what you can control and your own responses and boundaries, essentially. So, I mean, yeah, it's not groundbreaking, but...
It's not, and she says that too. She goes like, I didn't like invent anything groundbreaking, but I think she just coined this like term essentially because it's easier to say let them when you're in the moment, right, of frustration, of heats, of just being like angry, of being sad, whatever it might be. But I think... Well, I know because I read the book, whatever, the audiobook, and she talks a lot about the Let Them theory, and she's got a lot of points, okay? Oh, girl is not wrong. So if you are, I don't know, I'm trying to think of an example, like you are making me upset because you're doing something, I don't know, like I'm completely making this up because I'm trying to think of a good example. You might buy the same shoes I have or something stupid, and that would never bother me. You are wearing Hokas.
I want to be a runner like you.
I'm a runner, guys. I'm a runner.
She's a runner.
If
you didn't watch the last episode, go watch.
Did you only run one time? Really?
I ran one time in my life. I'm a runner. I'm a runner. What are you talking about? I'm a runner.
She has an Apple Watch.
But if you did that and it upset me, like I can't control your actions, essentially what she's trying to say. And that is true. Like I can't control what comes out of your mouth. I can't control your thoughts. And I think that's big for a lot of people, like what others think of you. So like if you guys think of me as this person, this awful human, like I'm not, and I will literally like tell you like I'm not a bad person, but if that's your thoughts, like I can't control that. I can't go into your brain and change that. And the whole point is what she's trying to say too in this book is like how much time and energy are you wasting thinking about this? If you're at home and you're like, wow, so and so doesn't like me, or so and so did this, like blah blah blah. And if you do something, if you go to Sueños this weekend without me and I'm so upset, but that's like you're like, no, I'm going to Sueños, and I'm just like, no, you're not, but like you quite literally are. Like for me to get upset with you is so, first of all, insane, but like the second point is like for me to get upset with you is a lot of energy and time invested in that of me wasting it, just wasting my breath, wasting my time, my efforts. And I think a lot of times too, like I kind of agree with this, like we have to let people be who, like let people do what they're gonna do. You gotta let people do what they're gonna do. And she talks about that a lot in the books. If there's examples too, producer Marco, that you come up with on your timeline, on the Never Too Shy timeline, let me know. But I know she talks a lot about that, and I think it's really interesting. Like one example she gives, and this probably applies to all of us as far as like family, whatever. She has a son. The son was going to prom, and they were going to prom, and she was like, she had her daughter first go to prom years before. And the daughter, you know how us girls are. We organize everything. We had, I guess in this, whatever, in her daughter's prom, they had like a party bus pick them up promptly at 7. They all matched. They did this.
Pictures.
They went to a dinner. There was a reservation. It was a whole thing. It was like everything was scheduled and planned. When her son went, there was no car service. Like the kid barely had his outfit. I don't even know if the date like knew that they were dates, because I guess he asked her but like didn't or something like that. And then like the flower thing didn't match, and she was all pissed off. Mel Robbins was like, well, you're not organized. Like you're not doing this right. And then there was no dinner reservation. They were like, I guess in their grade, they were going to go to like the taco joint and everyone's going to meet up and get tacos. Like it was no like sit down thing, a whole organized event. Like it wasn't like that compared to her daughters. And I guess then the photo thing was happening, and Mel was all pissy, and she's like, this is disorganized. You're not here. You're not there. And I guess the daughter went up to her and said, Ma, let them. Like, let him. Like, why do you care? He's going to do what he's going to do. He's not organized. Nothing you can do now. You're just being mad for no reason. Like, let him. Like, and if he's going to, fuck up his own prom night, he's going to fuck up his own prom night. Like, that's not your problem. It's not your cross to bear right now. And I guess she stepped back. Excuse me. She stepped back and was like, you're right. Like, it's not. And I guess she let her kid just go do his prom thing. Yeah. It was just something she didn't like want for him, I guess, or she didn't really understand why he was doing that.
I'm going to buy this for my mother.
What?
Just let them? Yeah. I think my mom has good intentions all the time.
It's the control part.
But it's the control part. She does it with my grandma. She does it with everybody.
With you.
With every except with me, it's a little different. I'm like, girl, no. Like, relax,
Yeah.
But I think, and my mom's is like, if your way's better, then do it your way. But my way's better, But it's almost like, let them. You need to just allow people to do whatever they need to do in order to feel better or whatever that is.
I mean, that's the truth, right? Like, I used to sit there and like almost want to control people's actions and thoughts. And I was like, what kind of, first of all, psychopath am I? Because it's like, who am I? I'm not God. Like, who am I to think that I can control what Marco thinks, what Tati thinks, what my mom thinks, like what my husband thinks? Like, those are like, I can't control that. I can only control myself, what I do and who I am, right? And like my actions, I can only control that. And I think what my coworker mentioned about let them was that he said this, and I thought it was interesting, but I don't know if it applies, was that he's like, what if let them is like almost a dangerous technique? You get where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
Tell me. I knew, because you're logical like him. You're a red aura.
Well,
there's something I want to talk about that too.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, I want to hear from you.
Well, I think that it's more like it's a technique that I see it in the sense of like you are manipulating people almost, kind of. Right?
No accountability and manipulation.
No accountability, manipulation, because it's like you put everything on the other person, basically.
Yes.
So like
I can be an asshole or be mean, and it's like, let them be mad. Let them be mad.
Yeah.
That's how you feel.
That's how you feel.
I don't feel like an asshole. I feel like a boss.
Right.
So I think it's...
See, I don't know.
Yeah, it's also, I don't know. I mean...
I didn't think about that part.
It's also very, like, it does give you PTSD for first-generation immigrants, too. Like, for your mom and things. Well, your mom's not first-generation, but still. Like, traditional, like, households... Like, it's definitely, like, going against what traditional households have, right?
What, let them?
Yeah.
How so?
Because, like, in a traditional household, everything has to be, like, almost perfect, right? Like, you have to have everything in order. Like, you have to have you can't really just let them. Where here, it's kind of like, you're letting people have their own choices and their own control, when most of the households that we grew up in, your parents still want to have control over every single thing you do.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I can. And maybe like it is, the first generation or just our parents, I think would have a really hard time with let them.
Yeah.
Because they're not just like, okay, sure. There's like this theory of
like
just
Tati
letting
said.
go of control.
Yeah.
But like, oh, go ahead.
No, go.
I was going to say another quick example that she gave was like, besides the point of like letting people do what they're going to do, AKA her son and the prom situation. This I think applies to people too, is like, she said that she didn't get invited on a girls trip or something. Her friends who took a girls trip.
She's like a Debbie.
She's
Debbie.
Shit. She's another Debbie.
She's another Debbie.
And she said that she saw the photos and all these things, and she was so hurt, and she wanted
me before.
She wanted to rage and do this whole thing of like, I'm gonna like just fucking go at it with them in the messages and be like, why wasn't I invited and all these things. And she said then she came to terms with, and I think this could help a lot of people, she came to terms with it and said, let them. They went on a trip. They didn't invite me. they chose that decision. Let them go on their trip. And then she tried to make excuses for them, which I wasn't crazy about. It's like, oh, maybe they just wanted to do this by themselves. Like, I guess this is maybe self-aware, or maybe this is just, I don't know, self-deprecating, but she was just like, maybe they like wanted to do their own thing, and like they didn't see me being a part of that. Like, it is what it is. Like, I can't be mad at that and stuff. But I'm like, well, no, you can't be mad at that.
That happened to me years ago. Like a group of like at the time, like the people I was closest to in the dancing, like they were all at somebody's house for their birthday party. And I was like, literally everybody was there except me. And I was like, I didn't even know about this. And I saw all these pictures. Even somebody that wasn't even close to them was there. And I felt away. And sure enough, I forgot what, because we're all in a group chat. So I kind of made a comment or something. I remember I was pissed, dude. So
how could you not be?
So the two girls messaged me privately. They're like, dude, literally, like, nobody had no idea what was going on, because everybody's like, where's Tati? And then everybody's like, I don't know, where's Tati? Like, everybody was confused. And then the person whose party it was, he was like, well, somebody told her, right? Like, I thought I put it in the chat. They're like, no, you didn't put it in the chat. Like, you didn't even send it. We heard from this person. So I'm pissed. I'm livid. Turns out that person just forgot.
That's what Mel Robbins says
invite
too.
me. It wasn't like a malicious like purpose, like, oh, I did it on purpose. But I'm not gonna lie, I was pissed. And I was that person that we had a trip planned like for a weekender, like 4 days after that. I didn't go, and I booked a trip to Miami. I'm like, fuck y'all, I'm not going with you guys. Like, I don't care, keep my down payment. I don't want to be with you. You didn't think about me, whatever. I made that decision even though I made that before he told me. Like, I overreacted, obviously.
See.
And again, it was like, why did I care though? Why did I care? Like, I had this like FOMO, which now I don't think I have. I really don't think I have that now. I'm like, y'all go ahead. I'm not going no more. But at that time, I was like, wow, like, they're having so much fun. They're doing all this. Like, I would have ate with this theme, you know, like all that.
Yeah.
And I got really mad, and I took it personal. And they were all like side calling me, like, dude, like, he called me. He was like, dude, I swear, I promise you on everything, Tati, like, it was not on purpose. Like, we all were kind of like, who invited us? Oh, fuck. And everybody was like, damn, we all kind of fucked up, because nobody thought to text Tati, are you coming or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I just saw on social media, all y'all.
See?
But again,
Damn.
growth, because like, it really wasn't a big deal. I was just pissed. Whatever.
Well, how could that not hurt though when you see
that's
all
true.
your friends in a room having a fucking party, and you're just like, I'm at home and I thought we were cool.
Yeah.
Now this was like some distant friend or like some co-worker from fucking 5 generations removed, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like that, okay, like people that maybe you used to hang out with but not anymore.
Yeah.
That's different. But like, you are friends with these people, actively friends, about to go on a trip with them. And like, how could that not hurt? And see, I have a hard time, and this is maybe my own little thing. I have a hard time believing, how do you forget to invite someone? I know miscommunication shit happens.
I agree with you.
And the fact that one person's like, oh shit, I didn't put it in the group chat. Oh shit, no one told you. Yet somehow everybody else found out, but somehow I was not told, aka you. Like, you're not told by somebody, not even to mention, hey, what are you wearing tonight? And being like, wait, what are you talking about tonight? Like,
You're right.
There's no indication. I'm not saying they left you out. I don't think that's the situation. It doesn't sound like it was, but I just don't understand how miscommunication goes that far.
Yeah. No, it's true. And then on another, this is what I was bringing my phone up. So I was actually having a conversation with a therapist about, not like a therapist, like a girl who happens to be a therapist, not mine, but I asked her about like her opinion on the let them theory.
Yeah.
And so I want to read what she said.
Ooh.
She said, I can support much of it as long as people practicing it don't become doormats in the process. Most of the folks I see who claim to be practicing this let them theory are people who take mad advantage. Folks must be okay with solitude and quality over quantity.
Ooh.
And so like that was her perspective on this, and I was just trying to find the correlation between like let them and like being seen as a doormat, because I feel like that's almost the opposite of what you guys were saying.
Maybe. I don't know. Because I feel like to be a doormat, though, is like allowing people to treat you a certain way, right? And like what you allow
So it's
will
like,
continue.
okay, let them see me as like a passive person. It's fine. I'll just let it be. Instead of like
the let me part, producer Marco, if you could pull that up. Let them by Mel Robbins, because then she says like the next part, I guess there's two parts to this whole thing of her theory, of her method. It's the let them, so like, okay, like let them whatever, but let me, and that part I'm not as familiar with because I haven't gotten that far in the book, but it's more of like let me essentially feel my feelings, but like let me do what I'm gonna do too. So it sounds like everyone's just doing what they gotta do. Is that what it says?
Yeah, basically. I mean, it's essentially saying, letting everyone do what they want to do themselves. So it's prioritizing what you want to do instead of prioritizing what you want to do for other people. So it's kind of like being anti-people pleasing, kind of.
Okay, so like let me do what's best for me.
Yeah, let me do what's best for me. So it's like let them is accepting the fact that what's best for you is to just let them be. Like if it comes into your space and it becomes something negative or affects you, then obviously like you speak up, but not to have people's actions or everything else affect you so much on a daily basis.
Okay.
And it's true. I mean, with social media and everything else going on, like you just said, right? Like you got upset that your friends went out to a party and, didn't invite you. So in this case, it's like, let them, because, maybe it wasn't for you, or maybe because they genuinely forgot or whatever it was.
yeah.
Not for it to completely consume your life and then being like bitter about it or upset about it or anything else.
Right.
So, I mean, it's an interesting theory in a sense. I think it's like the anti-people pleasing theory.
For sure.
Kind of.
I would see that.
So, but it's not anything like groundbreaking. It's just kind of like, you do you, I'm going to do me kind of situation.
I think Drake said it best? Who said I'm gonna do you can do me? Someone said that in a song once.
Some probably. Who knows?
So I would say this theory is also like not explaining to people things anymore. Like I don't need to explain myself to
I don't need
you,
to justify myself.
right? I don't need to justify myself.
that's
I
true
don't need to
too.
explain myself. Yeah, see, I like that. And then this kind of reminds me of Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
Oh my
She's a
God.
big example of
My
this.
girl
Congrats. Shout out.
My girl graduated law school, and yes, before y'all come for me, I'm aware she didn't do it the conventional way, and she says that multiple times. It's a special
does.
program, right? Like it's
Yes.
not, but she had to take courses, she had to do work, she had to put hours in, she had to study, she had to take the bar, she had to do all those things, right? And everybody's still talking shit about her, like yeah, okay, she's a lawyer, so whatever. But it's like, everybody likes to bring up her past. Okay, she got a sex tape.
Oh,
so
God.
what? Half of y'all got a sex tape and got nothing out of it except blackmail or embarrassment.
What the hell?
Let's be clear. Like half of y'all like do worse shit. You're
That's
just
very
lucky the
true.
whole world doesn't know. Okay, it happened. She did that. But she could have gone so many avenues, right? She could have just been known as the girl who did porn and sex videos and made more. Went that route, or the route she's on now, but maybe not the lawyer part. Just like have businesses, be the pretty girl, makeup, and leave it at that, because she's making bank on that.
Yes, she is.
But she decided to go a different route while still maintaining all the things that make her her. But she pursued something that was really close to her father.
I was gonna
too.
say her dad.
And so, like, I don't think people realize it's not like, okay, I have money, just give it to me. Like, no, you got to put in the work and the time.
Yeah.
And I think like people are always going to discredit her. Damn if you do, damn if you will.
100%. Most people will do
And
that,
I
yes.
like how she's kind of like, let them. Like, she doesn't comment on everything.
I love
She
it.
just keeps going, and there's new shit she pops up with. And I love that for her.
I do too. I think with Kim Kardashian and just like anyone in that kind of status, I think it's definitely damned if you do, damned if you don't. Even if she went to grad school the traditional way, which I don't know what that would be like, going straight from whatever, not even straight from college,
Yeah.
but like getting in, then doing the whatever, the years that require, and like you said, she did it, but not fully the way
She
traditionally.
went an unconventional route. So she had 75 credit hours. She only had 75 credit hours for something.
Okay.
And she did a 4-year course in a span of 6 years.
Got it.
obviously.
Okay, got
and
it.
so she doesn't have a bachelor's degree. Typically you need to have a bachelor's degree,
Got
then
it.
get into law school, and like she did a different program, and everybody's
Yeah.
like, you're not a real lawyer.
Yeah, they're gonna always tell her that no matter what, even if she did conventional, traditional. She's a lawyer.
She paid off the professors.
Right.
She did this. Like
she's always gonna do that. Now, will I discredit though that she has like the luxury of doing what she did? Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. Despite
Despite her crazy ass baby daddy and probably the stress and the drama she has to deal with on a daily basis, because that would fucking like destroy me. It just would. So God bless her for that, because she's strong just for that alone, and obviously having 4 kids. Like, yes, I understand she's loaded. She's got the nannies. Each kid probably has like 3 nannies. She's got the housekeepers. Yeah. She's got the food, the chefs, the cleaners, like everything she wants is at her actual fingertips, like literally in her booty hole, probably. It's how close it is to her. Like, she can have access to anything she wants. And I don't think that we discredit that. I think most of us are very aware. But I think if you were in that position and you wanted to pursue something like law school, you wanted to go pursue being a fucking pilot,
resources.
You want to go be whatever you want to be. You want to go fucking walk on the moon. Like, you're gonna use your resources. Who wouldn't?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And even you mentioned like with Kanye, right? Like, I think she does a good job of like just let them with him.
Oh God,
as many times as he goes on his tangents, his rants, his tweets. Like, imagine if she responded to every single thing. People are so quick to dog all of them, but it's like I raise my hat to what they made out of their name, because you choose the route you want to go.
That's the same thing they say about like rich children. And I remember
nepotism,
nepotism, like just wealthy children. Like, my coworker says this a lot or whatever, and I get what he's saying, and it's true. It's like yes, like, would I call somebody who like, not even comes from money, but like had the foundation, right, resources, obviously, like whatever, wealth, money, whatever, and they're in a in a successful place. Like, do I see that as like, are you like necessarily Mr. Self-Made? Like, I don't. I'm sorry, I don't. Like, when we were calling Kylie Jenner self-made billionaire, whatever. Like, I think it's when we hear it from like, you know, a like hood perspective. When we hear self-made, we're like, oh, like that person.
You came from nothing.
Right, like you came from nothing.
Yeah,
like, you're the ground up. You're from
that.
the fucking dirt. Like, you came up. Like, you were, what was that saying? Like, you grew where they didn't want you to grow. Oh, I don't know. Like, the seeds.
The roses grew in a, what are they, concrete, whatever? Or the
something like that, where it's like this like crazy.
I know, concrete jungle, like
roses grew in the concrete.
Right.
Okay. I'm like,
right. They didn't want us to fucking sprout or seeds, whatever. There's like a whole saying.
Sure.
So, like, obviously the Kylie Jenner thing, I know that was a huge one, ruffled a lot of feathers, but like, was she self-made in the terms of like what she built? Like, I guess you can say yes. She was self-made as far as building this $1 billion empire off of fucking lip gloss and whatever she was doing at that time when she was in her King Kylie era, because that was the most successful era I think she ever had. That's my hot take. But I mean, that was like a huge era. I thought I was King Kylie. Like, I wore hats and jackets like her. Oh, wow. I didn't have blue hair, but
I skipped that phase.
You did?
I was always in the Kim phase.
Yeah,
not the sex tape part, but like just like
imagine
like the makeup, the hair, the looks. Like when she would do like the tight denim with like blazer and that. Like I still like that. Like,
it's a good look.
I still like that.
That never was out of style.
Yeah,
but like, so like, yeah, like, do I think that? Yes, but then, you know, my coworker made a point one time and he said, you know, I guess he's wealthy, but like, he comes from like families and kids, and he's seen this story, I guess, over and over, where it's like the kid does nothing with that, and then there's the kid that does everything with that.
Yep.
So I think it just like depends, I guess. And it's like, I don't know, as a mom now, like, I look at it different too. I'm like, well, I can't hate. Like, I saw this thing on TikTok where like people talk about like how their parents help them a lot, you know, and people are, of course, in the comments like, oh yeah, you ain't shit, your parents help you. And somebody goes, Y'all hate that my parents love me.
Right. That's my life. That's literally my life.
Period.
Like, why
y'all hate love?
Yeah, y'all hate love.
Y'all hate parental
sorry,
love.
I have support and love, and they
like, that's how
they don't want me to struggle.
Que triste. Oh, did I say it right?
She went bilingual.
I know I did. Right. Look at me.
Now.
But how sad is that people hate on parental love? It's just so fucking crazy and sad that like we think of it that way. Like, your parents are here to set you up for success. Like, I hope my kid, I definitely am no Kim K by any means, but I want my kid to shit on me with money and everything and have all the resources and have that. Like, I would love nothing more.
Of course.
Like, I want her to like take advantage of everything that she can that I never got to. So I look at it and I'm trying to set it up in that way where it's like she can have it so much easier, you know?
You would think that's what you want, right? As a parent, like, I'm going to do whatever in my power to make life easier for my children. And like, for them to have a better life than me and set them up for that, whatever that looks like.
100%.
Because everybody has a different definition of like success or what an easy life, a soft life. Like all of that is different for everybody. Different. But like I can't imagine, and correct me if I'm wrong for anybody watching, but I can't imagine being a parent and be like, nah, girl, you gonna struggle.
I think there's parents like that out there.
Like
it's sad. It's
why?
sad. I think they're
like, nah, I got
that.
the money for it, but nah, you gonna be hungry.
Yeah, no, that's fucked up to me.
That
you should not
is.
have children.
No.
I do think that there are ways, though, to teach your children certain
just responsibilities and values for sure.
Like, I love when parents do the whole thing where they like pretend like they're collecting rent from their kid, but they're saving it, and then give their kid like 20 G's and go like, this is all from when you were paying my rent.
Yeah.
Go start a business, go to school. Like, because essentially that's amazing because like the kid saved up and learned how to do that, right? Learned how to pay rent, if you will, or responsibilities. And now the kid's got some money. Yeah. I think there was a story that my coworker mentioned, like something with college. I can't remember the full story. I shouldn't even have brought this up, but I can't remember the story. But basically the dad said like, I'll pay for your school. I forgot what it is if you do something. And I think like she pretended or like he collected some money. I don't remember. Point is he paid off her whole school. Yeah. And that was like a surprise at the end. And I think that's beautiful if parents can do that. I think it's beautiful when parents can do that. And I think you're right. That's the whole point. Like, and Marco, let me know if you would agree. But when you have children, I'm assuming you want them to be better than you in every way, shape, and form, and to do better.
Yeah, I think so. Like I would consider myself a quote unquote nepo baby. Because I always say, like, I stand on the shoulders of giants. That's what I always say.
I love that. You are a giant.
Thank you. That's why I am so tall. But I do it because I look at it in the sense of every generation should be building so the next generation can have more, right? And as I know which coworker, but I won't say name. As your lovely coworker said, some people blow it and some people build it. That's really how it is.
That's 100% true.
That's life. Yeah,
that's a bunch of, and you can look at it. I think the record, someone did this. I don't know. I'm a lot about this, about like legacy and stuff. The record of how many generations of wealth has been passed down. I think it's something like 7. Like only 7 generations of wealth is the maximum it gets to before it gets completely like wiped out.
Oh, really?
Wow. Yeah. Oh, like 7 basically generations of families.
Wow.
You look at that, like the Vanderbilts, right? Like, I don't know if you guys know who the Vanderbilts are. Well, like huge family, one of the richest families in the world at one point. And now like they don't have any money.
Yeah, they were like the it girls.
They were like the it girls of the 1780s or 80s. I don't even know the time age.
The it girls.
Yeah, everyone. But I think also like we should be cognizant of the fact that like for every story you hear of parents who, charge their kids rent and give it to them at the end of it when they turn 18, there's also a story of parents who financially abuse their kids too.
Yeah.
They, like, step over and like, because you're earning more money, now you have to give me what you're earning.
And I think that's fucked up.
That's very fucked up.
I'm not a fan of that. I don't.
No.
I think we've talked about this before, so I don't want to talk too much about it. But like, again, I teach high school students and predominantly juniors and seniors. So they're at the age where they could work. Yeah. And a lot of them, they're like, oh, I'm working, but I'm like, man, I'm hungry. I want to get this. But they picked up extra hours, and they're like, oh, I give my whole check to my parents.
Wow.
Because like I have to pay the bills. Like
that breaks my heart.
They don't keep anything, which I like. And the kid doesn't like. The kid's just like, oh, I just give my parents. Like, I don't think they realize how kind of fucked up that is. I'm not saying don't help, but I feel like as a parent, like that's your hard-earned money. Like, I would never be like, give me your whole check.
God, no.
Like, that's not okay to me.
Some things is like necessity and some is abuse, right? Like,
correct. Like, I think you also teach with a lot of students who are predominantly Latino. Predominantly like black or brown kids, minority children. And I think what Marco said is very true, where it's necessity, and it's really sad and unfortunate. And I think it's a bigger conversation, but a lot of them are undocumented too. So the parents can't work, you know what I mean? Or they can only work a certain amount. And like, we all know the cost of living, no $16 an hour is going to fucking cut it.
Yeah.
Especially in this day and age in a city like Chicago. But beside the point, like, yeah, absolutely. Like that is abuse in a way. I do agree with that part. And like, they probably, for the most part, and I'm hoping this is just a situation for those students, but like they're probably helping their parents. Again, it's fucked up, yes, because they're children, they're working. The only thing that a child should be doing is focusing on school at that age. But I know that that's not possible. And I'm not going to even talk shit because I was working when I was 15. Like I was dying to work. Like you couldn't get me out of work. And like, yes, like, do I think it helped me like learn a lot about the real world at a young age? Yes, absolutely. But that was something that I was just like, no, like I'm going to do this, you know. But my mom, like, even though she was a single mom at that time, she handled what she needed to handle. And she had like everything. Like I definitely helped like where I could and stuff. But she, as a mother, as a provider, as a strong woman, like she handled and stood on her business. You know what I mean? It was tough, but she did.
Yeah, you don't like in my like I wouldn't in my head I wouldn't bring children into this world to take care of me as their children.
No.
Like if you know like
That's
times
awful.
are rough and stuff. I mean, you know, shit happens, whatever. But like I wouldn't.
I think about that a lot.
Well, I think also like you touched on a very good example. Like I think I'm an extreme example of like a foundation built. But even you, right? Like your mom, very hardworking woman and everything else. She built a foundation, and now your life, I would venture to say, is probably significantly better than your mom was at her age.
100%.
And so like that's
100%.
That's even valid. Like that is some form of quote unquote nepotism because people feel like, oh, you should have the same struggles or worse as your parents.
Yeah.
We're like, that doesn't make sense to me because
I
everything
100% agree.
should every generation should want more for the next generation.
I think that's so
And
true.
there's some people who, like you can do people like Jeff Bezos, right? His dad was a successful real estate guy, gave him the first $500,000 to build fucking Amazon, right?
You're right.
If he didn't have, and his parents were adopted. If he didn't have those parents, there would be no Amazon. Yeah. Kylie and Kim and all the other Kardashians.
Right.
Yeah, Kris Jenner.
Robert Kardashian wasn't like $100 million person. They made a good money,
Right.
but they had a good money. They had a good, social life and everything else. And those connections help them build on and get investments to become the billionaires and everything else.
They use their resources. You're absolutely
Correct.
right. Like I don't know Robert Kardashian's salary, but like it's not
Well, he
close
passed
to what
away.
Kim.
Yeah, no.
Like
no, not even. No. I mean, literally, you could give two people the same amount of money.
Yes.
But based on who you are, your drive, your skill
great,
set,
right.
Everything's different.
You could spend it on 100 Teslas.
Yeah.
And you could just invest in one business, a new nightclub.
A nightclub.
I don't know.
And then a new nightclub.
And
yes.
then, you know what I'm saying? And then,
Paulina's?
so I think like it's just
Fifi's,
about,
or what is it called?
yeah, your grit. Like
It's your grit.
100%. Yeah.
No, I 100% agree with that. And you're right though. People like they love to like watch others suffer, and it's so fucking weird. Or at least they want others to suffer, and they get so triggered when you say like, "Well, my mom and dad like fucking love me. Like I can go to my mom tomorrow, and I know this is a privilege. I know you know this too, and so do you. Like we all know that like that's a privilege to be able to go to our parents, and like if there's something that I need, whether it was money or watch my kid or anything, like our parents, I think everyone in this room feels that like we can get that from our parents. That is the ultimate like form of love.
Oh my God. Yes. And I'm going to end it here, but I was having a conversation with this gentleman, and he was telling me about a girl he started dating. Within the first month, he was on vacation and she got in a really bad car accident and she needed help with like money and just physically somebody to help take care of her. He left his vacation. They've only been dating not even a month. He left his vacation and stayed with her, helped her with her car, took care of her. And in my head, I don't know if I'm fucked up for this, and I'm like, where the fuck were her parents? Like I get it. Okay, she was in her 30s or 20s, but like my thing is like, if God forbid something happens to me, my first person is not going to be a guy I just started dating. And that could be a blessing, right? For me, it's a blessing. Like I know I have other people for sure. But to me, it's almost like the audacity kind of.
Yeah, it's a mind fuck a little bit.
Like what? Like you just started dating this guy and you're already like...
Well, that man loves her because that's insane.
Well, and they broke up.
Oh, okay.
She ended up doing him dirty later.
She did?
Yeah, well, like not literally, but like she wanted to be outside and all this other stuff, and he was like,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Ooh.
anyway, they're not together.
That's something I want to talk about in another episode, actually.
Yeah.
Will remind me, but not like their situation, but
No,
something
but-
you
yeah.
sparked in my mind. But I also have to think we also have to remember that not everybody has
that's
relationships the way that we do. A lot of people, unfortunately, have like estranged relationships, like no contact, you know, and I think everybody's got their reason. I personally, hot take, come for me or don't come for me, but like I feel like life is so short. If you can figure it out, please try to figure it out. Not talking to your parents for years because of some misunderstanding, something that can be fixed. I think, and I know it's easier said than done. I'm not here to like tell you to go call your mom after not talking for 4 years.
Yeah.
But like if life is so short and there's just so many moments that I feel like you really could be there for each other and make situations easier and alleviate, you know, the feeling of loneliness, of sadness. Because I feel like everyone that I've seen or heard that is estranged from their parents, like they feel at the end of the day, you still feel something. You're human.
Yeah, of course.
I'm sure
Yeah,
it
of
hurts.
course.
There's got to be a
1,000%.
feeling.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Right. Hello. You
I'm
malfunction?
sure. Yes.
So like I just feel like I really do encourage somebody, and I hope this finds someone today that needs to hear it. But if it's something that is fixable, or you can try to talk it out, I'm not saying it's always going to work, because I know it goes both ways, and unfortunately sometimes things are just too far gone. And I know, you know, people don't respect boundaries, and sometimes there's just certain kind of situations that aren't fixable, aka substance abuse, things like that. You know, it's easier to be away from somebody who, you know, unfortunately is struggling, right, with substance abuse or whatever, because that's a tough one, right?
Yeah.
You can't just make somebody be sober tomorrow, you know. They've got to want it. So it's a whole thing, and I'm so respectful of that, and I'm very understanding. But like I said, if there's a way that you can, or at least, you know, try, make that effort, you know, what is it, extend the olive branch, I definitely say to try it. Life is just so short, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and I think you'll feel better knowing that you tried and it didn't work. You know?
Beautiful.
I hope. But yes, guys, we love you so much. Thank you for tuning into this.
Marco closing
yes, we're going to close it with our chest.
I would say
The heavy sigh.
It's always a sigh. He acts like we just like, I don't know, like
you know this, dude.
Right.
You know
He
you
didn't know
close
this
it
was
with your
happening.
chest. This is fucking 89 episodes in. 90.
What are you talking? Why are you?
This is
why
what?
you
No, this is 91.
Listen,
damn.
Fiamma.
Oh my god, dude, we're almost at 100.
Fiamma, chill out.
Oh my god,
bro.
we should have the 100th episode at the nightclub.
at the
I don't know.
nightclub.
I don't
Everybody
know
bring
what
$100
nightclub you're talking
bill.
about, but it's,
A nightclub.
it's not.
Dude.
It's unannounced. No one knows about it. So thank
I'm-
you for blowing me up. But
I mean,
Well, we
I
didn't
didn't
say
say
the name.
what. Yeah, I didn't say what. I just said you have a nightclub.
I have a lot of things.
Okay, well then we could have 100
Right.
parties at all 100 of your businesses. But anyway, go ahead, close it
Tell
with your
me.
chest.
My close to the chest would be keep going. So I think right now, keep going. Whatever you're going through, however dark it is, however light it is, however tough it is, however impossible the mountaintop seems, keep going, because all you can do is get up and fail, and get up and fail again. Can't do anything else. Nimolo.
All right, we love you. Bye.
Bye.
Never too shy.
Yeah, like you can
Follow.
exits.
Oh, hold on, exit. Follow us on social at Paulina Rowe
And talk with that.
and Never Too Shy Pod.
Yeah.
Bye.